So I just want to end for a few moments on the overview here. So you have all these remarkable things converging in a single 12-month period. You have war, pestilence, political unrest, apparently unsolvable political unrest. What do you think we're looking at in the West? Like, what is this moment, and how does it end?
Well, so I have long been interested in questions of good governance and the West, and I'm sad to report that I think the West has actually collapsed, and what we are left with is now a nebulous echo. The values of the West still function, but they function in a vague way, and we have seen that they can evaporate quickly under the right circumstances. I suspect, and I really don't know, I don't think anybody knows, but I suspect that some powerful set of forces has decided that consent of the governed is too dangerous to tolerate, and that it has begun to unhook it. And we do not know how this works. We can see some of the partners who are involved in this, but I don't think we know ultimately who's driving it or where they're going. I think many of the notions that we picked up about nations and who our friends are and who our enemies are they are now more misleading than they are informative. In other words, I don't think the U.S. has an enemy called China. I think there are elements within the U.S. that are partnered within with elements within the Chinese Communist Party for practical reasons, and so the notion that these two parties are competing with each other just distracts us from what's actually taking place. But let's just put it this way. We have a large global population. Most people have no useful role through no fault of their own. They have not been given an opportunity in life to find a useful way to contribute. And I wonder if the rent-seeking elites that have hoarded so much power are not unhooking our rights because effectively they're afraid of some global French Revolution moment as people realize that they've been betrayed and left without good options. Is that what we're seeing? Certainly feels like we're facing an end game where important properties that would once have been preserved by all parties because they might need them one day are now being dispensed with, and we're being, we're watching our governmental structures and every one of our institutions captured, hollowed out, turned into a paradoxical inversion of what it was designed to do. It's not an accident. Whether they, the thing that worries me most actually is that whatever is driving this is not composed of diabolical geniuses who at least have some plan for the future, but it's being driven by people who actually do not know what kind of hell they are inviting.
Yes.
They're going to create a kind of chaos from which humanity may well not emerge. And I get the sense that unless they have some remarkable plan that is not obvious, that they are just simply drunk with power and putting everyone, including themselves, in tremendous jeopardy by taking apart the structures on which we depend.
How do you see...
All right. Grace, mercy, and peace from him who is and was and is to come very soon, I'm certain. This is Rogue Diabetic, and welcome to the Digital Wilderness. So, that's pretty crazy. That was Tucker Carlson interviewing Brett Weinstein. I'd never heard of the guy. And the funny thing about this is you wouldn't have seen anything like this a year or two ago. If you would have, it would have been on BitChute, not on YouTube. or Twitter. I haven't seen the full interview on BitChute yet. I kind of don't think it would last, but the whole thing is on Twitter. And a couple years ago, a year ago even, they wouldn't have let anything like this out. And if you would have seen it, like I said, it would have been on BitChute, and it would have been from Alex Jones, one of the backbenchers. You know, not Tucker Carlson, not somebody as prominent that like that. And this Weinstein guy, as far as I can tell, they haven't given him the same treatment that they gave a lot of other people that were saying pretty similar stuff, going all the way back to 2020. But it's crazy. It's a crazy interview. So, but it's the best summary on what's happened over the past 6 years now. This didn't start on March 13th, 2020, when Trump declared a national emergency. It started on 9/15/2017, when Trump declared the 17th to the 23rd of that month constitutionally. Okay, it just seems, it just came into full relief. What's happening here just came into full relief when Trump declared the national emergency, and then shut down churches and packing plants, and absolutely desolated the covenant with many that he had confirmed so eloquently. Now, another thing but it's crazy now, because what this is called is the externalization of the hierarchy. Okay, they have to tell us what they're doing, and it's just now they're actually coming out on these more mainstream platforms with more mainstream voices, and they're using phrases like endgame, paradoxical inversion, nebulous echo. The West has collapsed and become a nebulous echo. A powerful set of forces forces drunk on power that don't know what kind of hell they are inviting. Okay, but here's the thing, guys. They know. These people know, at least the people at the top. At least the people at the upper echelons of this. The Tucker knows. This Brett Weinstein guy knows. Okay, they know what kind of hell they're inviting. They know what's coming. Okay, and there's and now they're now that this thing has been done, and it can't be undone. It's like a mea culpa. But I'm not gonna go into it a whole lot deeper here on YouTube. I am, however, gonna post this whole conversation. And with my commentary, with some additional commentary, over on my BitChute channel, which is Rogue Diabetic, ROGUE DIABETIC. So if you go to BitChute and you search Rogue Diabetic, all lowercase, then my channel should come up in the results. I can't link it. I won't be able to link any of this. So, but if you're subscribed here on YouTube, and you like this video and you want to see the whole thing, then I encourage you to go ahead and get over to my chat, my BitChute, where I will post the entire interview with some additional commentary. So,
how do you see, my last question, how do you see you're speaking in grand terms that 3 years ago I might have laughed at. I'm not laughing at all, and I think you're absolutely right. But you're also choosing, as a 50-ish year-old man, to say this stuff out loud and to pursue the truth as you find it, and then to talk about it. So why did you decide to do that, and how do you think that ends?
Well, we are all the products of whatever developmental environment produced us. And as I've said on multiple topics where my family has found itself in very uncomfortable and sometimes dangerous circumstances, because we speak out, I don't think I had a choice. I literally cannot understand how I would sleep at night, how I would look at myself in the mirror if I didn't say what needed to be said. And, you know, I heard a very good speech by Bobby Kennedy Jr. Though neither of us are libertarians, he was at the Liberty Conference in Memphis. And the last thing he said in that speech struck me to my core. It's something I've thought often and said almost never. But there are fates far worse than death. And I think, for my part, I have lived an incredible life. There's plenty I still want to do, and I am not eager to leave this planet any earlier than I have to. I have a marvelous family. I live in a wonderful place, and I've got lots of things on I hate the term bucket list, but I got lots of things on my bucket list. However, humanity is depending on everybody who has a position from which to see what is taking place, to grapple with what it might mean, to describe it so that the public understands where their interests are. It is depending on us to do what needs to be done if we're to have a chance of delivering a planet to our children and our grandchildren that is worthy of them, if we're going to deliver a system that allows them to live meaningful, healthy lives, we have to speak up. And I don't know how to get people to do that. I'm very hesitant to urge others to put themselves or their families in danger. And I know that everybody's circumstances are different. Some people are struggling just simply to feed a family and keep a roof over their heads. Those people obviously have a great deal less liberty with respect to standing up and saying what needs to be said. But this is really, it's what we call in game theory a collective action problem. If everybody responds to their personal well-being, if everybody says that's too dangerous to stand up, I'm not suicidal, I can't do it, then not enough people stand up to change the course of history. Whereas if people somehow put aside the obvious danger to their ability to earn and maybe to their lives of saying what needs to be said, then we greatly outnumber those we are pitted against. They are ferociously powerful, but I would also point out this interesting error. So I call the force that we're up against Goliath, just so I remember what the battle is. Goliath made a terrible mistake, and it made it most egregiously during COVID, which is it took all of the competent people, took all of the courageous people, and it shoved them out of the institutions where they were hanging on. And it created, in so doing, the dream team. Created every player you could possibly want on your team to fight some historic battle against a terrible evil. All of those people are now at least somewhat awake. They've now been picked on by the same enemy. And yeah, all right, we're outgunned. It has a tremendous amount of power, but we've got all of the people who know how to think. So I hate to say it, or maybe I like to say it, but I don't think it's a slam dunk, but I like our odds.
I've never met a more fluent biologist, I have to say. Brett Weinstein, amazing conversation. Bless you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, you guys, I just wanted to leave you with this. Yeah, I don't like our chances. Me personally, if by our chances you mean the West, the collective West, and any ability for like the people to rise up together and throw off this powerful set of forces that are drunk with power and don't know what kind of hell they're inviting. But I do want you to I do want to leave you with Mark 8, chapter Mark chapter 8, verses 34 through 38. And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, Whoever will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. Like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'm out.